Hi everyone, I'm going to show you guys how to make this beautiful Armenian flag hair tie that you can make at home anytime you want. This is to really represent the high-end colors, so I'm very excited to show you guys how to do this. And I am also a very proud Armenian that would love to represent the colors of the flag. So here we go. This is what we're gonna need. These are the colors, which is red, blue, and orange. So we're gonna start off with the orange braid hair extension. I bought this on Amazon. So you guys, if you want to, make sure you type in braided a hair extension so you can get the same type of colors and make sure that it is tapered at the ends. So I have that prepped up. We're gonna also go ahead and get our red color, and then we're gonna do the same with the blue. So just a little bit of my background. My father is Armenian from Iran, and he had went from Iran to Canada and stayed in Canada for a while and then came to America. And then he got married to my mom and had me, my brother, and my sister. And growing up in Los Angeles, I really got to see a lot of the Armenian culture. Growing up, I was very raised Armenian. Even though my mom was Brazilian, I have a lot of the culture in me, and it's just such a very rich and old culture that I wish more people knew about. It's such a small little country, but the people are so mighty and so strong and very united, and I am just so proud. So what I'm doing here, I'm splitting it into small little sections where I'm going to be putting that into the hair tie. I am separating into 4 small sections for each color. As you can see, they are about like finger sized. I don't know if you put your finger in and then you grab the amount of hair, that's how much I'm putting in. But low-key, I was wishing I had put a little bit more hair. So if you have a lot of hair and you're doing this style, I would suggest put a little bit more extension than what I did. And now I have my cotton hair tie. It is wonderful to grab a lot of hair, and it's super secure and honestly not as damaging compared to other hair ties out there because it's cotton. Then I got my hair extension and putting it through the hair tie and then tying it with a little elastic so that way it's like nice and secure. Then I don't know if you guys saw the little tool that I had. I call it the little loopy tool. I basically go ahead and tighten that extension to the hair tie and grabbing a small little section off that extension and then putting that loopy tool through, or I should call it the crochet hook, my bad, a crochet hook through that the elastic on the extension, then wrapping that small little extension and then pulling it through so that way it's kind of hiding the elastic. You don't see that elastic anymore, so it looks pretty seamless. So we're going to be doing that to the rest of the colors. I'm doing, for just this hair tie, I'm doing 2 colors each. I'm just tying it, same method, nice and secure, putting that crochet hook through, and then just making sure everything is nice and secure. But yeah, guys, I love the fact of doing hair ties from the country that you're from. I just happen to do Armenia because I'm Armenian, and I feel like it connects to me so strongly. The next one I want to do is Brazil because of my mom's side, and I just want to be like representing, you know what I mean? But I would love to do other countries as well. So if you guys have any ideas and would like to see different flags of the hair ties, please comment down below and I can make a tutorial on that as well. Can you guys believe I've never been to Armenia? I've heard such wonderful things from the country of how beautiful it is and how old it is and like how much history there is in Armenia. Especially during summertime, the apricots are amazing, the food is amazing, the people are so nice. So literally, I just gotta make it happen. Even though it's a small little country, it is literally historical in so many ways. Literally the Bible, Noah's Ark, They had it in the Ararat Mountains, and I think it's just so awesome, and I have to go and see it. So I will make that happen since it's part of the bucket list, and I just honestly, I want to know more about it. I am currently trying to learn the language. I am not good at all, but with a little bit of time and practice, I know I can definitely get there since I am super interested in learning the language. All right, so now that we did 2 colors for each, I'm gonna do one last hair strand doing the same method, but this time, this third strand for the red is gonna be kind of disconnected from the rest of the colors. And I'll show you what I mean by that in just a minute. This is the strand that's gonna be wrapping around the hair tie when everything is done. It is kind of like to cover the hair tie so you don't see it once the style is on you, but I'll show you guys once we're done. And to seal the deal, I'm using my needle and string and I'm stretching it out to arm's length and then cutting it and then tying it off after putting it in through the needle. And I made sure to have a needle that is curved so it's easier to put it through the hair. And I'll show you that in just a second. See, I did the little knot, and then I'm using my needle and I'm putting it through the very top of those hair extensions where the elastic would be. This way, they're gonna be all together and it's gonna be nice and tight. I just like to do this so that it kind of covers the hair better versus if it's separated. Sometimes when you have it onto a ponytail, it doesn't really cover it fully, whereas when I have it tied up together, it kind of holds the hair in place. And yeah, I just kind of do this a couple of times all throughout those extensions just so it's nice and basically sealed. The hair ain't gonna go anywhere, and I make sure it's nice and tight by going through it many times. So I will skip that for you guys so you don't really have to see that, but that's what I'm gonna do for this hair tie, and then I'm gonna also do it for the other hair tie. Just make sure you don't cut your fingers or like poke your fingers, I should say. And then the remaining strings, you can just literally cut that off so you don't have to see that dark string. If you want to put a string that's like more like red, blue, orange, that might even be better. I just went and saw whatever I had and I just tied it together. And then once I was done, I used my straightener and just went over the extension so it's just not as puffy. I really like that more straight look. I will say whatever hair extensions you guys end up buying, make sure they are heat resistant. I did buy Kanekalon braid hair extensions. Normally, I feel like most of the stores on Amazon or wherever you buy hair extensions, they are normally heat resistant and they're all Kanekalon. So you just got to make sure it says specifically heat resistant. But yeah, this is what you guys are going to do when you actually start styling the hair. So I started to do a high ponytail and using some braid pomade, I put it all throughout my hair because I do not like the frizzy. I wanted it nice and sleek and super tight. So as you can see, I'm using that comb and distributing the product all throughout my hair and getting a nice tight sleek ponytail. And then from the ponytail, I do a super tight bun, okay? And the bun is super important because since I have really short hair, I don't want my hair sticking out from that ponytail. And also, I just want the colors to be showing so much more. I know there's like different ways if you want to braid it with the extension, you could do that. But this is how I do it, and I feel like it just works perfectly. So you got to stack these extensions on top of each other and lay it on top of the head. Notice I didn't put it on the bottom of my head. I did it straight from the top and made sure that the extensions are stacked. Then using those extra red extensions, remember the ones I was telling you about, the extra red strands, I'm wrapping that extension all around my hair tie so you don't see it. So just wrapping it up, then I'm going to use a bobby pin, or I don't know what what they're called. I forgot what these types of pins are called, but I just pin it up and then I just flip it over. But before you flip the extension over, make sure that they're nicely stacked together. And then you can go ahead and flip over the extension just like so. Also, fun fact, if you want to, you can totally use the brush to kind of like smooth in the colors to show way better. But yeah, this is pretty much it. I did kind of like mess around with that red hair extension that's covering the hair tie a little bit so that it kind of covers more. But essentially, this is pretty much it. This is the red and orange and the blue hyaden colors, and this is the ponytail. This is the ponytail colors. I really liked how it came out. The only thing I will say, because my hair is thin, I feel like it worked way better versus if someone has a lot more hair than me, it might be a little bit harder to cover your hair when you put it in a bun. So with that said, I would highly recommend putting more extensions onto the hair tie, or you can do another hair tie so it's like 3 stacked, so that way there's way more hair to work with and cover your actual hair. But yeah, let's get into the pigtail look. I'm giving you guys 2 styles to work with, and I made sure that with this particular style, it's right in the middle. Again, using the same product and making sure everything is nice and sleek. Then from the pigtails, I wrap it around to make 2 little tiny buns since my hair is in the thinner side. And then we're gonna do the same thing what we did with the ponytail. You're gonna make sure that the hair tie is right on top of the head, and then you're gonna tie it 2 times. Then once it's nice and secure, you're gonna get that extra red strand and then cover it all around the hair tie. That way it just looks more cleaner. And then you flip it over so you can see how the colors are covering my bun. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I do end up again playing around with that little red strand that's covering the hair tie so it looks more cleaner. But essentially you can see how the colors are really showing when it's on the pigtail. So I hope you found this video super helpful. If you guys love the hair ties but don't actually want to make them, you can go ahead and check out my website everylittlestrand.com to purchase these beautiful hair ties. And also you'll be supporting a small business. So I hope you guys liked the video. Please subscribe to my small little channel and please comment down below your thoughts. And if you guys would like to see future videos that are similar to this, I would love to hear all about it.